So, alright, let's see. Neo Jade. Oof. I don't like this map too much for dsaqwe. Neo Jade is a map that, if I remember correctly, Tutacz really likes. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm completely wrong. But I've seen him play a lot of games on this map, and he's been doing pretty well. So the result is 1-1. Okay, so let's see. We've got Tutacz as the red Zerg at the bottom left location, and his opponent is going to be the purple Protoss is going to be dsaqwe at the bottom right location. Now Neo Jade, let's have a look before we do see anything happening. Pretty standard map. The kind of main thing is really that you don't have the extra bases apart from what we would call the 4 mains, and your natural, and then your third, right? So there's not that many other bases. Not like Fighting Spirit, you have like another base here, another base there. So there's not that much economy actually. And the reason why that's pretty big is that it kind of is easy to split the map in half if you're in a decent position kind of most of the time. So if that happens, the Zerg usually is in the worst situation. But I have to say, I know that a lot of people would argue that Protoss is the race that needs less expansions, right? You can kind of fight with less expansions against the Zerg, and in a form that I agree until a certain point, which is when, for example, Zergs get things like drops, they have cracklings, they have swarm. At that point, I think the thing is relatively even until there are things like, let's say, reavers, or even arbiters, or even things like disruption webs. So until you have that really late game composition as the Protoss, I still think that the Zerg can do really well, even if they are on even basis. Okay, so let's see. The drone just checks out. Gonna take an expansion. If we pull again, we do see again Pylon and Forge. So interesting. I mean, I kind of like that players are playing standard, and the reason I like that is you usually get better games, right? Longer games and things like these. But from time to time, it's also cool to see some kind of a cheesy strategy and see how, especially if the game evolves after that and no player actually dies. It's kind of funny when that's the evolution of the game. Oh, we do see drones, only 2 Zerglings, and everything else drones. So the Nexus was delayed until the cannon was finished, and Tutacz does manage to get away with just making 2 Zerglings. So far, that would be, we could say that that's kind of a small win for Tutacz to get that. Alright, now we see only 1 cannon and then the gateway. Funny enough, if you can actually kill this probe, which might go down, you could actually start speed and get a lot of Zerglings and then just run through this. I mean, since you've only shown 2 Zerglings, the Protoss is most likely not going to be building more cannons. And because of that, and the fact that you actually made the earlier drones, you could actually make some Zerglings and try to run through. Well, I'll have to try that one day. Now, the probe is still, well, it's not anymore. And so far, gas, core, so nothing different, really, except just the extra cannon. Now, by seeing this cannon, I mean, 2 Zealots will most likely block this anyway, but yeah, so no extra Zerglings, just the ones at the beginning. Maybe this Zealot will go out and try to force a few more Zerglings. I think it's not a bad bet. You definitely don't want to lose it though, so we'll see. The speed is done. Is being made for the Zerglings. Let's see the Zealot now. The Zealot is gonna stay at home. Okay, another probe is coming out. I'm gonna try to find out whether there is more kind of a defensive stance from Tutacz, or if for some reason is dsaqwe who has to be more defensive. Okay, so the probe will get in. I mean, that's kind of the problem also when you don't have Zerglings, right? The speed is still halfway done, so there's still a possibility to actually not show the speed until the probe is dead. Let's see. Oh. Okay, so the probe, so far, the probe is still alive. Ooh. Almost. One more hit. One more. Yeah. Alright. And the speed is about to finish. So these zealots, they really need to block. I mean, this is not a huge amount of zerglings, but if you actually do manage to run by and get into the main, you can actually start to do some real damage. And okay, so only 3 zerglings could have gone. Whoa, actually no, wait. Okay, so 3 zerglings barely. I mean, this could have gotten a lot worse for dsaqwe. This was relatively close, actually. He did manage to close really nicely his base, but oof, that could have gone so bad. Now, luckily for tutacz, this actually allows him to scout everything, and he does see the same build again. Considering that in game number 1 he went mutas and he died, and in game number 2 he went hydras and won. What will tutacz choose to do? Let's see. Is it going to be an early hydra then? Well, we don't see the hydra then yet, but that doesn't mean he's actually committing to mutas, because there's no second or third gas. So usually that does tell you that there is no mutas. Let's see. Alright, so the zerglings are still going to be a little bit annoying, but mostly scouting. I don't think they can get a probe. I mean, if the dsaqwe does forget a little bit about this, and I don't know, for some reason there are no zealots close, yeah, a probe might fall. Okay, so yeah, 1 probe will fall, that's it. So, cannon. Oh my god, that's actually pretty big. That cannon kill is big because although the zealots are enough in numbers to actually stop this, the problem is that the zealots now have to be kind of... Well, that was a little bit anticlimactic. But you do really need a cannon here, because just like a few hydras and suddenly you're forced to move your army and 20 zerglings run in. That cannon kill is actually pretty big. Also, the Corsair doesn't have a place to actually run to except the main, so the Corsairs will have to stay in the main for a pretty long time. Alright, so do we see the hydra then already? No, it's going to be mutas. I don't get this. tutacz actually, I mean, he's getting the right way to play this, which is okay, you get armor and things like this. But in the first game, he saw the style, he made the mutas, he dies. Second game, he makes the hydras, he wins. Now he's in the third game, he's seen everything, and he's going again for mutas. I mean, I'm not saying that he can't pull it off, of course he can, just surprised that he tries to do something that last time didn't work for him. Okay, so some probes are going to be probably killed, but probably not too many. Let's see. Actually, some are falling. So yeah, this actually is doing some damage, but... Okay, so much better in this game so far. I mean, just did some damage and went away with the mutas. And the hydrogen is coming down now, so... I mean, I still don't know if it was worth it. If the damage actually has been done enough to pay for the mutas and the scourges. But yeah, we'll see if that's the case. Oh, some micro, some dancing. Oh. Okay, so scourges go down. Mutas can't do crap now against these 6 Corsairs. So yeah, so another few probes did go down. However, the pulling from the economy and having to kind of save his probes, that actually is doing a number on the dsaqwe. I mean, he did manage to get the zealots, but so far... Okay, oh my god, tutacz is actually droning right now, and he's about to get ambushed by these zealots. And yeah, if the Corsairs can actually kill the air... They were just 2 sunkens. I'm pretty sure he could have gotten in. Maybe he doesn't know that there are no hydras yet, because as you can see, there's there's nothing actually to fight well against the composition that the dsaqwe has right now. And even you can see actually some air dying because there's a supply block for tutacz. So again, I'm not sure why tutacz would decide to go with this style. He did manage to get some economy damage, and he is also upgrading a lot faster now than in the first game, so that might be actually enough to change that. But okay, second Evo, yeah, not used yet. Oh, and the Corsair, they're gonna find some overloads. They're still slow, so they're gonna die like real fast. There's 3 more actually here, so ooh, that's a lot of dead overlords. Oh, okay. Not that bad, but still. That's a lot of dead overlords. We do see 7 Corsairs only, so with the +1 armor for the Scourges, they do have the chance to connect with these Corsairs. So, not too bad. 2 DTs. I mean, you would need to drop them, right? Okay, so the shuttle is coming up. Guys, this seems like it's almost a repeat of the first game. You see, the dsaqwe is doing about 90% the same thing, because he's also going for the drop. He's also made the Corsairs, although he did stop a little bit sooner. There's 8 now, and he's not building anymore right now. Okay, no, he is. So, yeah, it looks pretty much like if they were repeating game number 1. The only difference, though, so far, is that there are no 3 hatches here, just 1. Now, I don't know if that's going to be much of a difference right now, but there's also a pretty clear path to fly to the main, which is also pretty important. And at the same time, I mean, the third is going to be taken without any doubt. Okay, there are the DTs. So the DTs are going to be flying out. They're going to try to find an opening. Oh, those Scourges definitely saw. Yeah, they definitely saw that. And they might actually see the shuttle. The shuttle is lagging behind, so just because of that, it might... Oh my god, this is gonna go bad. Yeah. I mean... Oh, okay. Alright, now that's much better for tutacz. Although he's still gonna lose his entire air army anyway. So, even with those good Scourge connections, that actually is still gonna favor the dsaqwe. And the dsaqwe is coming down with that DT drop again. And again, 3 hatches. So, again, will we see the drop do as much damage as before? I don't think so, but it's still possible. First of all, it's just 2 DTs, not 3, so it's not going to do as much. And second, and probably the main reason... Oh, are they going to see this shuttle? They should have seen the shuttle. Yeah, I think this... Yeah, the shuttle has been scouted. So, the reaction should be much faster now by tutacz. Still losing drones. Actually, quite a lot. And, yeah, the hatch now... Where are the overlords? The overlords are coming. Okay, there's one already there. But, so, okay, this hatch should probably not go down. Let's see. Yeah, it's not gonna go down. Oh, just some... Okay, so some drone snipes. Yeah, why not? Like, definitely you wouldn't get the hatch, so just snipe some drones. Still very good. Now, tutacz is taking another base already, so... Considering that the dsaqwe doesn't have that huge, like, 160 army supply that he had in the previous game, because his third was actually a lot delayed, then definitely he can't push out yet. And because of that, I think tutacz actually will take this game, because he will have enough time. tutacz will have enough time to saturate both of these bases and start getting units before the dsaqwe can actually attack. The dsaqwe will probably not attack until something like 140 supply, because before that he will know that his army is not going to be strong enough to actually fight head-on against the Zerg. So you can see the Zerg is already taking the high ground positions, although you usually want to have a few lurkers here. It's a very good position due to the ramp to have some lurkers. Okay, we do see some coming up right now, so... And definitely... Oh, okay, some... I thought that might have been a shuttle, but no. And you definitely want to have a little bit of more defense here, maybe. I mean, as you can see, tutacz can already take his half of the map with what's going on, so... It's not gonna be easy for the dsaqwe to actually get through this game. Alright, so far nothing happening, guys. Just macroing up both players. The dsaqwe is making a decent amount of gateways, but he's not using most of them. Okay, there we go. I guess that actually probe loss at the early game did actually hurt his economy really badly. He's at 48 probes right now, which I would say that 56 is about fine for 3 bases. So, not too good, and we can actually see that in the army supply being reflected. Like, the army supply is a lot closer now than it was in the first game. And unfortunately, the defensive position for tutacz is actually really, really good right now. So, trying to break this is going to be expensive. Oh, yeah, the dsaqwe doesn't want to really do that. Now, the dsaqwe can actually get his army here and start pushing up there, which then becomes actually quite efficient because of this small choke being so bad against Storm. And that might be something, but unfortunately the Dragoons are also going to be kind of stuck, so... It's not the best way to deal with this, not the worst. There's no really good way to deal with this right now. Now we do see that Tutacz is actually getting his upgrades also as in the previous game relatively well. So there is a small upgrade advantage right now in the attack, but not the biggest deal really. So I think that I don't think that I mean dsaqwe could still make a good game out of this, but overall this is really looking like Tutacz's game. Like there is almost no gap in supply, and that's really bad right now. Also, the amount of bases that Tutacz has managed to take is actually really big, So, yeah, how many High Templars do we even have? Like it's 2 High Templars. Look, this army is a Zealot Dragoon based army with just 2 High Templars. I mean, I think that the GG is going to come as soon as this army commits to anything, because it's just too small of an army. And Kraken's already done, so this army is just way too weak. It doesn't have any high-tech units. Like 2 High Templars are not really going to do that much. And the kind of ninja expansion that dsaqwe was hoping to get, nah, not gonna happen. I think it's gonna be about it. Okay, I mean the game is not over. There's a 170 supply for dsaqwe, but look at that. It's basically a Dragoon army. We do have a few more High Templars coming up right now, but I mean, it's not only that Tutacz has a good supply. He has a good supply in small, cheap units that do a decent amount of damage. And even if they get stormed relatively well, they still will get some damage done. Look, even up the ramp like this, even with a lot of micro, you still lose some Zerglings, and you damage like 5 units almost to death. Oh, and some Lurkers actually trying to get made here. Just a small hit squad, not gonna do anything. These probably should be cancelled. There's no reason to actually fight that. Alright. So, poof. No army here. Yeah. Now, dsaqwe will take this base, and he definitely will try to start splitting the map, but we can see that Tutacz is already hammering down as natural. Yeah, I mean, your entire army is here. Okay, I'm gonna go here. And look at that. Just a few seconds, pretty much the entire army melts. Just Dragoons, nothing else. It's not gonna work. You can't fight an army of Zergling, Hydra, and even Lurker with basically Zealot and Dragoon. It just doesn't work that way. You're gonna lose way too much. Ooh. Now we do have Arbiters, but yeah, I don't think that matters. I mean, it doesn't matter that you have Arbiters in this matchup as much as in others. First of all, due to the Overlords, but that's not even the main reason. Stasis works really well against Terrans because of tanks. Tanks are expensive. They are quite immobile. So there's a lot of reasons for that. Zerg units are fast, they're small, and they tend to split a lot. So getting a very good stasis is difficult. Recalls might do it, but you still need the actual army to do the damage. So we do see that the Arbiters have been hidden for quite a while. Now we see the first actually Arbiter going to the main, and the recall will happen. It's a decent army, so it might do some damage, but oh, barely. So the Arbiter barely survives. It's not going to survive much longer though. Yeah. And now this army is just a few Dragoons and some Zealots. So at the same time, the Natural is breached. The army is trying to come back to save it, but the Observer is not even there, so if this army gets too close, then the Lurkers are actually going to kill it. And actually the main is already entered, so yeah, one base is going to die. This base doesn't have actually any probes mining in it. At the same time, this small army is going to be taken down. I mean, yeah, so actually, no, just the second and the Spore was taken down. Okay, these Lurkers will fall, but this is not a big problem right now for Tutacz. Look at the amount of the bases that Tutacz actually has. He really can afford to rebuild this. Is dsaqwe who really is nowhere near to be able to do anything with his army because it's small, it doesn't have good tech, it doesn't have good mobility, and he has one base on the other side of the map. Now, I would even say that for this map, I would favor to go for something like, I don't know, Corsair Reaver, because maybe that would be more efficient, but this army composition is just not going to cut it. And especially not against somebody like Tutacz. I mean, if you're playing against a Zerg that, I don't know, struggles against some kind of timings, then yeah, okay, this is a good army. But against Tutacz, I just don't think so. Now, the dsaqwe is not out of it yet. Okay, he still can fight. I just don't know for how long. Because, yeah, we see the Arbiter. If you look at the Arbiter, and now look at this. One plague over the recalled army, and voila, that's it. Okay, the recall, whoa, that's a big recall, so that's gonna kill the base. Alright, that should kill the base. Now, the army from Tutacz is already there. Yeah, and also cows are out. Although these cows are probably gonna die because of the amount of things that are here. Now, okay, we do see the... There is the plague. Although plaguing his own hatchery might not be the best idea, but still. Okay, the ultras... Yeah, one goes down, the other one should go down eventually, but the reinforcements are actually fast enough that they can, just with Zerglings, crush whatever is left of this army. And I gotta say that a lot of overlords seem to have died for Tutacz, which I completely missed. I assume that some of them actually died on his attacks, and some of them have been dying somewhere else. Now, Tutacz doesn't really need to commit to this. Yeah, just put a lurker down here, snipe this, or put a swarm down here and kill this. Just don't send the units without a swarm. Now, the dsaqwe might be able to hold on for this for a little longer, but yeah. Yeah, just... I mean, just not gonna really... You can still relatively storm like this ramp and still get something done with this. It's not like it's a complete destruction, but you see, just one or two Zerglings are enough to actually really start killing stuff here. And once this gets swarmed and this base goes down, there's nothing really for the dsaqwe. Like, he's got a small army here, and he's gonna actually recall it to where? Oh, here. And he recalls, and he has to go out because it's doing nothing. That's weird. I was expecting him to recall actually here to have some more defense, but it seems like he's kind of happy with his 2 High Templars with 1 about to have storm. Where's the... Oh, there's the swarm. Kind of late, but... I mean, does it really matter? I don't think so. I mean, the swarm is like not being used at all, but still... I still think that this is about kind of gonna be finished in a second. I mean, the probes are pulled. The dsaqwe's still kind of in this. Like, he has not the worst supply, but based on the position, just I don't think I even need to say anything. Yeah, I'm pretty sure you guys can see it. So, we're still kind of waiting for this game to end abruptly when the Protoss units just find out that there's no way to fight the Red Army. And, well, 100, okay, 100 against 140, that, yeah, that's kind of it. Okay, this should be it? No, there's now actually an Arbiter here, so it might kind of block this. Let's see. Okay, I think, yeah, this, whoa, see, just 1 Hydra in the stasis. Would have been a lot better to just stasis the Ultralisks. No, okay. So GG, it was GG for a while now. It was pretty clear that that game was, that was it. Actually, it was a 2-point